What is up, my friends? It is Friday night's late night news roundup with a bit of a twist. We're going to focus in the main on the debate today around Haaland and Isak. Who will be the Golden Boot king for years to come? I want to know your thoughts over the next few minutes. We'll give you words from Pep Guardiola. We'll give you some words from Arne Slot. We'll have a talk about Rafa Benitez and who he said he would pick over Cristiano Ronaldo. That and a few other interesting bits and pieces that we hope keep you right up to date with where we are as all roads lead to Burnley on Sunday for that 2 p.m. kickoff. I will be off tomorrow from live content, but the preview for the Burnley game will be out tomorrow morning. Hope you guys get a chance to watch it, and of course let me know your thoughts on my predicted 11. Then we'll be here for the watch along from 12:45 on Sunday with a late night agenda show on Sunday night as well. So Lewis Steele reported that Arne Slot, when asked if Alexander Isak is the best number 9 in the world, said this: one of them. At this moment, he isn't, for the simple reason he's been out for 3 or 4 months. The best players in the world win trophies, and that is what he and we need to do. And it kind of got the debate going today around who will be the king over the next few years. Now, of course, Haaland has the edge at the minute because, he started this season and scored goals. Isak hasn't been playing, but who over the next 2 to 3 years do you think will end up banging in more goals in the Premier League? Will it be Erling Braut Haaland, the goal-scoring machine at Manchester City, or will it be Alexander Isak at Liverpool? Well, I think it's fair to say it's an interesting debate. Liverpool have just stocked themselves with absolute worldies of players. Mohamed Salah's there, Ekitike's there, Wirtz, Szoboszlai, McAllister. So I'm going to say that there will be more goals scored by Isak over the next 3 years in the Premier League in total than Erling Braut Haaland. But I don't mean that to be disrespectful to Haaland, who is obviously a very, very accomplished striker. And Pep Guardiola, well, obviously he thinks about this a little bit differently. When he was asked where Haaland ranks compared to Isak, he answered this: a little bit above. Isak is an exceptional player. You asked me about Erling Haaland, he is top. Isak must be a top player because of what they paid. Now, it isn't lost to me that he had that snidey little dig there. He must be a top player because of what we paid. Okay, Pep, we get it. You like to let people know now that Liverpool and other clubs are spending money. And it isn't really about that Manchester City are spending money now, Pep. It was way back in the day and how you got to where you are. But I digress. That's for another day. He said Isak must be a top player because of what they paid. Another one would say Mbappe, Messi, Cristiano. I wouldn't change Erling for anybody. I know him. I like him. And look, that's absolutely fine. You would expect a manager who has been, getting goals from his player and has delivered for them, except in finals and on some big occasions, to answer that. Haaland is a goal machine. But I really am interested to know your thoughts on this one. So do let me know over the next 3 years. Can Isak surpass Erling Haaland? Or do you think that maybe with Liverpool's goals being spread around a little bit more, obviously Salah, Ekitike, Gakpo, that maybe that will have a detrimental effect for the Golden Boot race over the next few years? This season, for what it's worth, I do think Haaland will win the Golden Boot. But next year I'm backing my boy Isak to get one. So let me know your thoughts on it. Speaking of stats and players, Squawka have put out one to say that no player in Europe's top 5 leagues has made more penalty area entries or made more accurate crosses than Tyler Morton so far this season. 29 penalty area entries and 10 accurate crosses. Fair to say, a very good start to life there at Lyon for Tyler Morton. Now, Rafael Benitez. We mentioned at the start of the video that we'd be talking about somebody who Rafa said was better than Ronaldo, or actually who he would choose over Ronaldo, to be fair. During an interview with Shoot for Love, when asked to choose between Cristiano Ronaldo and Mohamed Salah, Rafael Benitez opted for the Liverpool legend. This is what he said, explaining his decision. Ronaldo is perhaps the best finisher, but Salah is more complete. Now let me know your take on that one, because for me, I do think the answer is Ronaldo. I hate saying that because I don't really like Ronaldo, and I'm certainly in the Messi camp overall, but I think those two are probably in a league of their own. I do understand what Rafa said. Mohamed Salah has been a model of consistency, but I think, to be fair to Ronaldo, the answer would be Ronaldo. But when you start to change this debate to maybe the likes of Thierry Henry and Eden Hazard, then I think Mohamed Salah comes out top of those. And if you don't believe me, look into the numbers behind Henry's time at Arsenal and Mohamed Salah's, and you will see that Mo has just about gotten the edge. So, thoughts on that? Most welcome. Again, not mean to be disrespectful. Henry's a legend, an absolute legend of the Premier League, but numbers don't lie. or do they? So Who Scored has said Liverpool have scored more goals from fast breaks with 22 than any other team across Europe's top 5 leagues since the start of the 23-24 season. Electric, they said, which is really cool to see. I love a counter-attacking goal at pace. How many times over the years, maybe with the Mane, Salah, Firmino days, did we see Liverpool transition from defending a corner to go up the other end and score? I have a memory of one against West Ham at the London City Stadium where we defended a corner and within seconds we were up the other end putting the ball in the back of the net. So not surprised to see that stat. Arne Slot was asked if he feared similar controversial efforts from Isak to leave Liverpool in the future. And I really like the answer that our manager has given here. He said, no, not at all. It's not necessary at our club because we also trade players. If a player wants to leave and we get the right money for him, then this club has shown for many years now that we will sell. At this club, it is not necessary at all to go on strike. I think it will have the opposite effect. I do find this very interesting because the media are still going on and on and on about Isak's situation, even asking Eddie Howe today in his press conference when that relationship broke down, and Eddie Howe came back to it when he went on strike. I would say maybe rewind that back a little bit more, Eddie, and ask, was it the moment where you didn't select him for the game against Celtic and it all steamrolled from there? But either way, they just can't let it go, and I love it. And Aaron's right. He will be able to achieve what he wants to achieve at Liverpool. And as we've just shown with Luis Diaz, if a player doesn't want to be here and Liverpool get the right money, they'll sell a player. Newcastle, they're still going around like a bit of Rex, and it's really weird. They're even talking about Michael Oliver refereeing the game this weekend and showing pictures of him in their fan base with a Newcastle shirt and saying, watch, the Scousers will be using this as an excuse if they don't win. They seem to be obsessed at this point. Just let it go. You've got Nick Vultmada, you've got Visa, who, by the way, I don't remember the same condemnation of about the way he went about getting that move, but that's okay. That's okay. All eyes on the big club and the big player. But know this, Isak is going to have a far more productive time in a Liverpool jersey than he did in the Newcastle one. And I can't wait to wipe the smirk off their faces as the season goes on and they see Isak becoming potentially the best number 9 in world football, because he has the ability to do it in the team he's in, with the coach he has, with the fans he has behind him. Champions League football, Premier League title success on the way, hopefully, as well. And yeah, I am on a bit of a wind-up here with that one, but he's right. Our manager's right. We do sell players if they don't want to be here, and that's the way big clubs move. Player doesn't want to be here, you accept it, you get the most money you can, and you move them on. You don't drag it out all summer, try to prove a point to somebody that doesn't need to be proved, and still end up looking very foolish at the end of it and losing the player, only to go and overpay for Nick Vultmada and Visa. But hey ho, I know where I'd rather spend 125 million, and it's certainly on our number 9. So that is it for me now, ladies and gents. But again, looking forward to reading your comments on, well, the situation with Salah and Cristiano Ronaldo, and of course the Golden Boot race over the next 3 years. Who do you think is going to bag more goals between right now and the end of 3 seasons? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys on Sunday. Much love.